Welcome everyone, I'm Deronda with Foods 101 and today I'm just making a basic coleslaw. I'm starting off with one medium head of cabbage. I've got 1/3 cup of sugar here. I've got a carrot that I peeled and I'm going to grate this later and add it to the coleslaw for just a little color and sweetness. I have 3/4 of a teaspoon of kosher salt here, a 1/2 of a teaspoon of fresh cracked pepper, 1/3 cup of distilled vinegar, that's just your white regular vinegar. I have 1/2 cup of sour cream here, it's just the regular sour cream, and 1/2 cup of mayonnaise. Now we're going to mix the mayonnaise, the sour cream, the vinegar, the salt and pepper, and the sugar together, and we're going to get it in the refrigerator and let it marinate while we get the coleslaw cut. In a bowl we're going to add the vinegar, the sugar, salt, pepper. I've also added the mayonnaise and the sour cream, and you want to just be sure you give everything a nice little whisk and get that really incorporated. Alright, now put a lid on this or a piece of plastic and put it in your refrigerator and let it marinate while you're cutting up your cabbage here, and I'll be back and show you how to do it. Now we're just going to cut the cabbage in half. And if you have a food processor and you'd like to, it's a little tough. And if you would like to put this in a food processor or you'd like to use a grater, be my guest, but I just remove a couple of the outside leaves and I start chopping it like this. And then I keep running my knife back and forth like this until I get it really nice and fine. And that's just the way I grew up eating my cabbage, and that's just the way I like it. Now, some of you I know like to have it in just slices, or you use a food processor, or you can use a grater, whatever you're comfortable with. But this is what I'm going to do, and I'll come back and I'll show you what mine looks like here in just a little bit. Alright, got to put some elbow work in it. We're working in segments, and see how fine that slaw is getting? That's how we just absolutely love it. Now, my dad also served this in his restaurant while I was growing up, and it was the #1 side item. So it must have been all that tender loving care that my dad put into it, because you can't get a texture like that with anything else except for your knife, a cutting board, and some arm work. Alright, I'll come back and I'll show you after I have it all chopped up. And woo, it's looking yummy. Here I've got my 6½ cups of chopped coleslaw, and I'm telling you, look how beautiful the texture is on that. And I'm telling you, it is one labor of love. Chopping until you get it looking like this. Next I'm going to show you how to grate the carrot. It's pretty simple, and I'm grating it here on a little wax paper. That way when I get ready to lift it up and add my carrots into this ice cold water back here, it will be a lot easier. As you see, there's a lot of color that comes off the carrots, and the reason I soak my carrots in water before I add it to my coleslaw is so it won't discolor my cabbage. So then I'll just take this, run over my cold water, dump my carrots in there, let it soak for a few minutes, and then let them drain. Right, in a larger bowl, we're going to add the 6½ cups of chopped cabbage. I've got a 1/2 cup of carrots that I have grated and chopped. And now we're going to add that wonderful sauce. Oh yeah. And get it all in there. And now we're going to give it a nice little tossing. Get all the cabbage and the carrots incorporated with your sauce. And then we're going to put this back in the refrigerator for 2 hours, and I'll come back and I'll tell you what it tastes like. Here's that basic coleslaw. I've got it plated up. I've got a little garnish on the top. That's cilantro. And I'm going to give this a little taste, and you can see the cabbage and the texture of the cabbage and the carrots, and that is absolutely delicious. and will go great with anything. With the vinegar and the sweetness of the sugar, and a little hint of the heat from the pepper, and that nice crisp cabbage, and the sweetness from the crunchy carrots is just win-win. Hey y'all, thanks for watching. This is Dorana with Foods 101. I'll catch you next time.